Hello, John again from Alpha Omega Comics. I am about to do an unboxing here. Super excited. Big Grail book for me. Big Grail book for me. A book that I've wanted for literally decades. So, did I properly build up the anticipation with that? I wish I'd have bought it decades ago. I think it might be safe to say when I first eyeballed this book and had it on my radar, I don't even think CGC or CBCS existed yet. And this is a CBCS copy. When you're hunting for a Grail and you find the right price, and I found a great price, you don't squabble over CGC, CBCS, or even PGX. You take what you find. And if you really want it in the other company, a company other than the one you find it in, you can always resubmit. In fact, this book, which I purchased on eBay, looking at the pictures, I'm fairly confident if I crack it, I could probably get a nice bump from a clean and press. I do not believe it was cleaned because from the pictures, it certainly didn't look like it. Another interesting thing about this book is the previous owner, who we'll be talking about here in just a second, but let's show off the book, shall we? Between two, inside bubble wrap, between two pieces of cardboard, and then inside a manila envelope. Hey, can't be too careful, right? Actually, inside two manila envelopes. Here we are. Without further ado, Superman, number 76. 1953, 5.0, off-white, white pages. First ever meeting of Superman and Batman. That's right, first ever meeting of Superman and Batman. Come on in here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what CBCS has to say about it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, my kitten's gonna explore the bubble wrap. Now, CBCS simply says that Batman and Superman reveal each other's identities. Okay. Why am I saying that's the first time they've ever met? This is 1953. Superman first appeared in 1938. Batman a year later, 1939. Starting in 1941, they started appearing on covers of comic books all the time together. They were appearing on covers. So what am I talking about? Well, those covers were simply to sell the books. We're talking about World's Best, I believe, was number one. It was a World's Fair book, World's Best Comics number one. You will know the title, certainly, which changed in issue number 2 to World's Finest. A very long-running title, World's Finest, featuring Superman and Batman. Okay, so if that's 1941, how was this their first meeting? Well, they appeared on the covers. It wasn't a meeting. There was no interaction. There were stories of Superman. There were stories of Batman. Never the twixt did the two meet for many, many years, because those were 1942 was World's Finest number 2. I believe 1941 for World's Best Comics. So you're talking 41 to 53, 12 years that publication went on, and the two of them never met. Now, this is the first time they met in comics, okay? Radio programming was huge in the 40s, huge. TV didn't exist yet. And even once TV did exist, radio still continued to permeate the homes. I mean, it didn't go away overnight, although eventually TV did obviously dominate. So the very first meeting of Superman and Batman, if we went to get super technical, and why not get super technical, would be in a radio program where the two met. You're not seeing them, you're just hearing them. But it happened. This is their first meeting in comics, which I think is significant. I think it's more significant than any radio program because, let's be honest, do you know anybody who even collects radio programs? If you do, I'd love to have a conversation with them because I'm that nerdy. But I love this. Look at this cover. We're talking 1953. We're talking Lois Lane in peril. We're talking Lois Lane actually falls for Batman in this issue. And ironically, Superman encourages it. He even has a conversation with Batman. Now, mind you, they've already learned each other's identities, which happens quite by mistake. They are both on a cruise ship. They both figure out that there are thieves on the cruise ship. They both go to change. They both choose the same location to change into their super outfits, if you will, and quite by mistake learn each other's identities, and both agree instantly to keep those identities a secret. Superman approaches Batman at one point in the issue and encourages him after Lois has already shown interest. That Batman is a handsome devil, that sort of thing. Encourages Batman to flirt with her, hit on her, come on to her, I think is the terminology that is used. The reason being, he is very frustrated, very overstressed by Lois's constant interrogation and investigation into her suspicions that Superman is Clark Kent. Yes, at this point in Superman's canon, Lois is all but convinced that they are the same person. Obviously, at different stages of this Superman story, there are other times when she thinks it's preposterous. At some point, she's obviously convinced otherwise. And then there are even later times when she knows. So, anyway, again, I am very excited to own this book. It is a very nice copy, a 5.0 off-white pages for a book from 1953. I mean, yeah. And like I said, I've wanted it for a long time, and I finally pulled the trigger when I saw a price that I just simply could not resist. Now, what else is supposed to be in here? I'm not seeing it. But it should be here. I'm going to set this down for 1 second. Okay. I am not seeing it at all. Well, that's a bummer. There's supposed to be a photograph, a signed photograph from the previous owner, who is actually a Walking Dead actor. And nowhere do I see said photograph. I certainly didn't buy the book for that reason, but I did find it an interesting odyssey, and I'm certainly curious to see and read about it. And it is just flat out not here. So that's something to bring up to the seller before I give him a positive. I mean, let me go through all this newspaper wrap that he certainly didn't crinkle it up. He certainly didn't crinkle it up and put it in there. No. Yeah. Well, that's why we do unboxing videos, so you can see the highs and the lows. And I wouldn't call this a low. Not a big Not a super huge disappointment. Not why I bought the book. But yeah, there's I guess you'd call him, I mean, he appeared on multiple occasions as a member of the kingdom. He was a citizen of the kingdom. Don't know that he ever had any lines, but he was the previous owner. There's supposed to be a picture of him, which he signed, basically certifying that this came from his collection. It isn't there. Oh well. I'm going to show the book off one more time. I showed that back. This is an ad, so it's not super exciting, but still always cool to see an ad from 1953. I said 5.0, man. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier to own this book. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, hope you have a Grail out there that is within your grasp. Something that's eluded you for a long time. It's a good feeling. Yeah. Superman and Batman, dude. First appearance. Not first appearance. First meeting. Say no more, right? I'm kind of speechless at this point, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're all having a great day, and talk to you later.